Good morning, my thirsty friend. We are now in Altstadt with Jean Francois Otter, who welcome us today to introduce us his winery, which is quite special.
I covered the estate since personally, yes. 1998. And we started to produce organic wines in 2000. I'm the fourth generation, and the beginning of the estate is 1885.
Okay, but I'm under the impression that since you took over, there's a lot of changes. The philosophy of the estate is quite unique, I would say, or at least you are one of the few. Please, can you explain us what is your philosophy about wine?
Oh, very simple. Doing wine only with grapes.
Yeah, that's a good start, yes. But I know there's something else which makes it even more special.
Yes, and we do wines with macerations.
Yes.
Okay, you say macerations, yes. In order to obtain wines who are stable in the bottle, wine without rest sugar, and the macerations brings tannins and other things who protect the wine against the oxygen.
And I believe also one thing which you like to focus is not necessarily on grape varieties, but rather on terroir.
Yes, yes.
So
our specialty is this, yes, I forgot.
Yeah, most important.
It's the most important, yes. Yes,
not only.
We do cru wines, yeah. In French, vin de lieu. Place wines, vineyards.
So obviously many of your on your wines you won't find any mention of grapes, which is quite rare in Alsace in general. So you like to focus rather on the place,
yes,
where the
on the geology,
on the geology, exactly. Even if some of your wines also are made with varietal,
yes,
but it's not where you want to put the focus.
Yes,
obviously. It's always on the face of the label. We will see, we'll do a testing later, but always you will have the origin. I mean, origin of course is Alsace, but with mention of cru.
Yes.
Even if sometime in Alsace it's either Alsace or Grand Cru. There's not really Premier Cru or First Growth.
Not yet.
But it's something which is kind of, yes, a lot of people are working on.
Yes.
So you focusing, like actually in Burgundy, on what they call climat.
Yes,
exactly.
On the climat, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So let's find out what's in the bottle now.
Yes.
Thank you. Jean-François, we started our testing with wines that you took from the barrel directly, so they're all 2021 vintage, and we started with the first, which is Cru Elsbourg. You don't like to mention grape varieties. Focus is on the, but in this case, is it a blend or a single varietal?
It's a little blend.
It's a little blend. Okay, so we won't know much more about it, but well, as you can see, it's a maceration wine. In this case, you mentioned it's 7 weeks.
Yes.
We're on limestone, and yes, what we found out is the wine was quite citrusy with some pink grapefruit, a bit of peachy character. So something quite refreshing on the nose, and also quite mineral.
Yes.
Definitely some flinty character, and on the palate, yes, you can feel the wine is bone dry. I would say the tannins are quite delicate.
Yes.
It's at least of the three wine which we had, I would say it's probably the one which the most delicate tannins. You get this liveliness, this slight tannins, and quite a good density of overall. So we move to another cru. Katelsberg. Okay.
The way to the chateau.
Yeah, this one there is 7 grape varieties.
Yes, 7. Yes, 7 varieties.
So still 2021. Very. So this one is more clay.
Yes.
and we could feel straight away on the nose something different. I mean, still refreshing, but on a different panel of flavors. Some minty character.
Yes.
I found also some spices with juniper. I found a bit of juniper, some kind of plum as well, fruits, and yes,
A bit licorice.
licorice. Yes, it's true. So anyway, overall, quite a complex wine. And this one, yes, it's on clay, and you can feel something much more rounder, creamy. I mean, you still get those tannins, but somehow they get wrapped with a bit more flesh, juiciness. And I think something is important to mention about those style of wine which are nature, is that what is most important is for those wines to be protected is the acidity.
Is the acidity, yes.
More than the alcohol.
Yes, much more.
And when we talk about acidity, you might think about the acidity which you might feel on the palate, which might be related somehow, but most important actually is the pH.
Yes.
Which technically should be below 3.4.
Yes.
So if you know you have a pH of 3.4, you kind of you know you don't need to sulfites. If it's above, then you might think maybe I need to add a bit of sulfites at the bottling.
The bottling, yes.
Okay.
We put the grapes in the tanks and we refrigerate the tanks.
To control the temperature.
To around 10 degrees approximately.
Yeah, but you mentioned to me the other day you actually do very slow fermentation.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes they took even 2 years.
I had yes. I had wines, much wines who ferment in between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius.
Which I never heard. I mean,
yes.
You might have some very special yeast in your cellar. I don't know what you give, what you feed them with. So then we try this Brandstatt.
Yes.
I mean, cru, still 100%. Still complantation.
Yes.
Yes.
Two grapes.
Yeah.
But one is not noble.
Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned this coming from a Grand Cru.
Grand Cru, yes.
So you had to declassify. So which Grand Cru is called? The Grand Cru is called Grand Cru.
Is called Hatchwalk.
Okay, so but you cannot use it.
No.
So that's why you.
But I am allowed to put on the place, the name.
Where it actually belongs to this Grand Cru.
Yes.
Okay. So you're using one. We can say Sylvaner.
No, say.
Okay, I will cut. No problem. Well, this one. I will cut it.
Perhaps.
So yes, I mean, very different. Again, I mean, you can feel the power. I mean, this one definitely had a very, I would say, more serious style. Even on the nose, it was a little bit more not as fruit driven, with more leather character.
Ginger.
Yeah, ginger or pepper. I don't know. There's something a little bit tingling, fresh. Fresh. All three different flavor profiles. That's for sure. But the mouth definitely much more structured, much more tannic. I mean, we are on clay and limestone. Gets actually a little bit of both of the other wines. I would say.
Yes.
A little bit more flesh, a little bit more chalkiness.
Yes.
Plus more tannins, which makes the wine feel quite big, and which I would say compared to the two previous seems like has a much bigger aging potential, or at least needs a bit of time just to settle and just become a bit more smooth. Because right now you can feel it's still like a wild horse.
Yes.
So the Dorfschatz. Voilà. So we are on here. You can see all the information on the back label. 2018. So it's southeast, gréseux, terroir. Sandstone. So here we can see. I mean, we are back to a style of wine which have not been macerated. More classic for Alsace or in general. I mean, what is classic today might change, and maybe the orange wine might become the standard in Alsace, who knows? I know you don't mention, you know, the grapes, huh? Either. I mean, I can feel, you know, the signature of Riesling with this petrol character, this citrusy with lime. I mean, it's, I would say, it's not sharp.
No.
I mean, here I don't want to say, and this is where maybe, actually, as much as I feel that on the nose, the Riesling maybe dominate, I feel on the palate that it's not Riesling, or is there something else which actually is offered to me, something which seems a little bit more rounder, and with this liveliness, but which is more, let's say, discreet compared to what I'm expecting maybe from the nose. So this is classic from this kind of terroir.
Yes, terroir gives a great minerality.
Yeah.
We often say it's one of the most mineral wines we do. And it's not an acidity you feel, it's a saltiness.
Yes, yeah, correct. Yeah. Yes, there's definitely like a salty character in this wine, even on the nose, in fact.
Beautiful nose of, how do we say, Mirabelle?
I think that's good to start with this one. Let's move on now to the Katelsberg, so another chateau. So yes, so this one is actually, I mean, mentioned it's a natural wine on it, and it's mentioned it's a blend of 5 grape variety on clay and limestone.
Yes, clay, dominating clay. Wine feels a bit more in the mouth. It's very powerful wine.
Yeah, the wine on the mouth is a bit more juiciness, and still with, I mean, I would say slightly similar level of liveliness, but with some extra flesh with this one. I mean, clay obviously tend to give to wines this extra roundness in wine without sugar. Right. You get a bit of fruit, you get a bit of floral character, but rather on the slightly discreet side compared to the previous one. But what you kind of lose on the nose, you kind of get it at the moment on the palate. The Brandstatt. Okay, so previous one was 2020. Now we move to 2018. So this one is a Grand Cru.
Yes.
With a Grand Cru, which has been declassified.
Yes.
But you mentioned it on the back label, which is, it doesn't mention it's the Grand Cru, but it's mentioned Elsbourg. So people who know the 51 Grand Cru from Alsace will know it's coming from a Grand Cru. Some apricot.
Mint. Beginning,
some bit of waxy. It has very powerful attack, very round, but at the same time, as much as the wine is gaining in shoulder, as much is gaining also in freshness, and you have everything all together. That's the one that we compare to Viognier.
Yes.
It's very much similar, but when we talk about Viognier, we're talking about Condrieu, because not all the Viognier has this level of freshness and balance. Well, I mean, thank you for everything, Jean-Francois. Beautiful tasting, and thank you so much for sharing all those beauties. A lot of, I mean, this is my last stop in Alsace after almost 6 weeks on the road.
Yes.
And it's always, you know, good to finish on a good note. So I know that after this, it's time to stop.
Time to stop.
Exactly. Okay, thank you guys.